use the hashtag Passion Made Possible. How about Skoga supporting esports talents and careers here in Singapore since 2008? IMDA, and not forgetting our partners Secret Lab, Tumi, SUTL, Singtel. We also have our friends over at Razer for giving us the official gaming gear, and MediaCorp as well as MeWatch. If you're watching us right now from MeWatch or at Cathay Cinemas, thank you so much for that. Not alone as always with my co-hosts Lysander, Analyst Lafelle, and Wolf. Have you all caught your breaths yet? Because I've been watching this game with you guys. You were screaming, the casters were screaming, the players were screaming. Describe the mood right now that both teams must be feeling.
Burmese Ghouls, you hear them once again in this stadium that we are at. I mean, I just hope that the crowd is here to hear how loud Burmese Ghouls can be, and the other teams. When Brenny Sports were confident when they were winning, they were also kind of loud, but not as loud as Burmese Ghouls. And here's the thing: this is probably one of the first times where we heard Burmese Ghouls this loud.
Yes,
and they're very confident.
I agree.
That's hope.
That's
hope. You know, they're hearing they were down 0-2, and now it's 2-2. It's equalized, and I think that is the best kind of final for anyone. Makes it look hopeless, and then suddenly there's hope. I think that's the best kind of feeling. It's to the edge of death, and then back. But now, equalize. I think now it's time for Brent to say, okay, what's up, guys? Why are we down 2 points? What is the plan here, Lafelle?
Right now, as we can see in the finals, this is actually a very interesting thing where the team that is playing the more standard composition seems a little bit lost, while the team that is bringing something new is the one taking charge. Because as of right now, as we can see, that the teams that properly understand their win condition is winning. But a more important thing is that you know your enemy's win condition. And I think this is one of those things where Brent has been using the same thing over and over again, where the side of Burmese Ghouls, they can already telegraph. It's like, okay, they want to get turtle, they want to win a few kills around mid-game, and then close it out before they lose their damage. So we just have to learn how to stall it out and then winning it in the late game stages. And that's exactly what we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, and I think this panel discussion, or this discourse discussion, we definitely need to talk about I think we need to give props. I think you as analysts, you already gave props, but I think props to Brent, fighting an entire day, but also props to Burmese Ghouls for doing some out-of-the-box thinking. What kind of marksman picks support emblems? What kind of marksman builds off damaged items? That is something that we really want to talk about. Anything else stands out to you guys?
Yeah, the biggest standout for Burmese Ghouls for me is that they really woke up after that 2-0. After starting 0-2, you now feel that it is actually Burmese Ghouls playing, right? Because this is what we are seeing in the past 3 days from them. They were winning those skirmishes in seemingly impossible, unfathomable ways. They have to be playing like the best Mobile Legends that they can be. They're like so much focused in those particular matches. Now, here's the thing. They were playing different heroes, like these out of the meta heroes, like the Grok, for example, but they play it in a meta-specific way, right? I don't know if I'm making sense, but they were creative with their picks, but the way they play it, it's very signature. It's
space making, they just run at the enemy, feed a few deaths, but they give the marksman time to farm.
Exactly, it's like space for Ace, right? For the past few days, and now they're doing it once again.
Wolf, I want to throw you back to what you said during the first break. You said you're not too sure whether Burmese Ghouls could be playing. Did you expect them to win clean 2 and come back 2-2?
I kind of say it's not that I expect them, I want them to. Because I think I was pretty clear the past few days that Burmese Ghouls made a fan out of me. Because they were they were executing so properly, and their tactician, whoever drafts and calls the shots, I have to talk to that guy. I want to take notes.
Any last add-ons, Lafelle? I think the game is about to be ready in just a few short moments.
Yeah, so we've seen that the first 2 games, it was Brand all the way. The second 2 games is going to be BG all the way. So I kind of want the next 2 games to be a 1-1 kind of situation, but that's just me.
So we come back, right? If it goes 1-1, we come back.
And we're going to be talking about the final game. Will he go all the way? I wonder. We do have time for you to go restock on your snacks and your drinks as we hand you over to Gideon Q, Butters, Leo, as well as Contra. Take it away, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the caster's desk. We are going to game number 5, but before that we would like to give our special thanks to our sponsor, Secret Lab, the award-winning gaming seats engineered for long hours of comfort and sitting form, available in the Secret Lab official store in major e-commerces in Singapore, and you can just visit secretlab.co.
And don't forget that we would not want to forget to thank Singtel, our partner in esports, to unlock lag-free and ultra-fast gaming experience with Singapore's fastest 5G network. Keep calm and get the edge you need on your road to Mythic and MLBB with Singtel, the Singaporeans' fastest 5G network.
If you're still with us, thank you so much. It's been a long day, but it's not over yet. If you guys are watching the live stream event, you'll know that it's happening right here in beautiful Singapore City, and it's at the Cathay Cineleisure at Orchard. It's called MVP, and you'll be able to catch all the M2 action on a big cinema screen. What's more, you can also win attractive prizes when you take part in the activities and the lucky draws. MVP will be running all week long, and you can count the hours that's left in the show. You can get your tickets at the Cathay Cineplex's website, and you can also check out www.rsg.gg/MVP for more information. Shoutouts, and again, a huge thank you and a round of applause to everyone watching. You're sticking through. You are showing some support to our grand finalists here, the Philippines and Myanmar. If you're watching from Cathay Cinema, NUS, Sports Hub, and Bukit Emera Swimming Complex. Once more, my name is Leo. This right here is Contra, Gideon Q, and Butters, and we will be going into Game 5 as mentioned. And so far, it's been reset. It now turns again into a best of 3.
Yeah, or should you say that this is just a halfway checkpoint for both of these teams? You know, back in the first World Championship, it was a big reverse sweep where, you know, suddenly that tank for EVOS Legends just gives them all the fuel to get their way towards the finish line. But this time, it's just that neck and neck race that with Burmese Goals finally getting that acceleration in, things are looking on an even term, and well, they are definitely that diamond in the rough to look out for.
Yep, a little trip down memory lane from M1, but this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is M2. You can complete tasks and predict the champion to win M2 coins. Exchange these coins for exclusive rewards, which include the special avatar border, the exclusive skin, the battle emote, the sacred statue, and of course, that exclusive skin, it's Clint's Shadow Omen skin. You can gain it directly for 899 diamonds, and once more, this all happens until tonight. At the end of the night, the 24th of January. Now back into the draft. We're a minute away from commencing game number 5. What can we expect here? Again, that short discourse from our panelists and hosts, our analysts, the smart guys, if I will. They broke it down and they said, you know what? We're playing our fair games, and now we're trying to introduce these odd choices of like weird marksmen and just bodies being thrown at you so that there's space for ace. What can we expect in Game 5? Who's going to be making the bigger moves?
Honestly, at this point in time, I would say Burmese Ghouls were probably going to make the bigger move here, especially since they get to decide which side of the map they're on.
Yeah, and one thing's clear. Bren Esports found the answer of the Baksha at game number 1, game number 2. Game number 4, Burmese Schools just freely gave it to them. And they still defeated Bren Esports. So, Burmese Schools, they have the strategy all figured out. It's just for Bren Esports right now, they do have to put in a lot of emphasis into not losing the draft.
A lot of pressure on Bren Esports right now. Going into the draft, it's Burmese Ghouls on the boat. Esmeralda taken out. Bren Esports, they get rid of the Diggy. That's a requirement as well. Burmese Ghouls, they get rid of the Baksha. Contra, your thoughts?
Yeah, and of course now Burmese Goals introducing a brand new problem, because that last game we saw that Lunox was quite an important factor coming in towards the third man to enter any sort of that team fight. And of course Burmese Goals will make a certain priority pick here. What we see here is very standard heading in towards the first phase. We definitely don't expect any of these 4 to go through, but this final man here, this is where you start to draw the lines here on what you must pick coming into this to secure that match point.
This is interesting. Like for Bren Esports, nothing much has changed. Burmese Ghouls, they ban out the Baksha just because they know that this is not going to be great for their side if ever Bren Esports has the red side or the first 2 picks.
Interesting. Burmese Schools, I thought they were going to play a very similar composition to what they did in Game 4, but it looks like they're willing to give up the Yi Shin and instead play for something more aggressive and snowbally like the Selena. I don't know whether this is going to be beneficial, but Bren, they're going to have to figure out a way to play a little bit more defensively or at the very least answer the aggression.
I think Kid here is just opening up what Bren Esports can do, like they're just letting them be, and I think that's what happened. Remember, from Game 4, we were asking when the draft happened, or is this a trap? Or is this a trap? And indeed it was. Now that's the jawhead locked in by Bren Esports. The Burmese Ghouls, they now have their last picks for this phase. Contra, what might they prioritize? It's very clear for Bren Esports. It's very clear that they want to give Carl Tizzy, Few, and Lusty their heroes in the first phase, but what about Burmese Ghouls?
Burmese Ghouls here needs that sort of the big option here, and we're looking at the Claw being relatively popular right now. It's being left up here, or else moving to phase 2, you won't be seeing it left available. So, of course, pairing it with a Selena, you still need something that's pretty much solid in the front. Could they go for that Lunox again, or what?
Probably not, but yeah, I was guessing that they were going to go for Yuzong here because, again, it's going to be a pretty effective lane regardless of how you look at it, and they've already showed the Yi Shin. So the question is, what are they going to do? Are they going to lock in the Wan for the side of Bren Esports? Because Wan can't clear as fast as Claude, so they won't be able to get away with being able to hyper farm and just clear out waves real quick and harass people and stuff like that.
And that's one of the things that Yi Shin gives to his allies. Like, if you would go for a double marksman setup with a Yi Shin, it would make sense because a lot of the utilities from Yi Shin makes him a very safe hero to go for the kills.
I feel bad for the Yi Shin. Early on in Season 6, right? Project Next, the Yuzhong has always been an answer to the Yi Shin. Like, you just dive in. As soon as you see Mountain Shocker and you know that the Yi Shin is in range, just Black Dragon form, just go right into the face of this jungler and they're going to have a bad day. Nice pickup by Bren Esports, though, before going into the second phase of banning. Benedetta going on to the off lane for them. Bans abound. That's going to be Sylvana taken up by Bren. Burmese Ghouls, what do they want to choke out?
Probably also Magic Dealers as well. Yep, Alice has been the consistent second phase ban for the side of the Burmese Ghouls. I wouldn't be too surprised if Bren decided to get rid of Lunox or arguably even Harith at this point in time. Personally, I think the Lunox would have been a better ban because at least they have the Jawhead and the Unstoppable Force to answer Harith if he drops down the Xamine Force. Unstoppable Force, flick him backwards, you're out of the zone, smack, smack, smack.
Well, I do have an opinion here because I've been talking about Cho quite a lot, haven't I? Like a couple of past games. But Bren Esports here might be having a clear run if they can actually get their hands on it. Like, just look at the Yuzong as well as Selena. Like, yeah, of course you can get those sort of hands on squishy targets. That's the best scenario, right? Like, just burst them down. But just creating another layer to enable the likes of Kaltizi, so this is definitely going to be something that they can look into if they want, but instead they say no, we're going to be leaving this Cho out.
This is a direct attack on Doc Ribo. Like, he is just starving for heroes.
Yeah, he's starving him from heroes overall, and 1-1 for the side of Burmese Ghouls. Really smart, making sure that they can actually win the lanes. Cho already banned out from Bren's side, and it's something to keep note of here because, again, as the rest of the teams are going, they want to get their double pick to finish off the composition. They could go for the good old classics here, but I don't think they're not going to work as well, especially when, Tigreal and Akai, at the beginning of the tournament, we were like, Akai's pretty good, and then by the end of the tournament, it's like, Akai's kind of bad.
And I think because of how the Burmese Ghouls have been playing, they have redefined the metagame. Already, you're able to play these tankless lineups or pseudo-tankless lineups, and they win games, they win series off of that. So right now, I'm guessing they might pull the same gambit and threaten the win. That's going to be the Harith on D or Ruby DD. I think Ruby DD. He does great with his Harith. Yeah, from the gold lane. And then one more. Oh, you're laughing about Akai, huh?
Yeah, I still think he's kind of bad right now. But look at the composition that Bren has overall. Like, yes, you want to be able to kind of create that space. You're going to look for picks, and you're going to expect Akai to do that. The only thing I do agree with here for the Burmese Ghouls is that they needed a tank that could look for picks. I would have preferred Tigreal. At least he has a little bit more early game presence. Akai here, he's not going to be relevant until level 4. So keep that in mind because Bren's composition here, as long as they play away away from the Benedetta and the Khalid and kind of just focus on, defending themselves till level 4, that's when the Burmese Ghouls can start abusing Akai.
And given how these matches go, it's impossible for teams to just change their strategies and their playstyles on the fly.
Yeah.
Both Bren and Burmese Ghouls want to get that early turtle. And you're right, Akai don't do much before level 4, and Akai will be sitting at level 2 or 3 when that first turtle comes up.
Then again, some of these picks coming out from Bren Esports don't do anything really by the time that they don't hit the level 4. But you know what? Just looking at it, Akai is one of those tanks that are good against invade lineups.
Ooh.
At least.
Is that your read, Butters? Is that your read?
At least.
That was actually what I was thinking when we get into towards this game.
All right, well then, game number 5 is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Burmese Ghouls versus Bren Esports. Let's get it.
Contra, talk to me more about this invade. What were some of your thoughts about how, defending the invade was going to look like?
Okay, speaking of that invade, right? You just look at the entirety of the lineup. It is about setting up for that blazing duet, and of course, a little bit of an invade coming in from the side of Lusty. Oh boy.
I mean, this is what you expect when you see a Jawhead, right, Butters?
True.
But you know what? Few here getting jumped by D, and Few
Wait, don't actually die here.
doesn't have the flicker, and that is the opening. That is the opening of a Lunox. If you don't have level 4, then that only means that you are going to be a main target here for Kid.
What is okay? I mean, all right, that's going to be fine, but I think that you definitely should have really considered just sticking to the wave and abusing the fact that you can just be healing off the wave and you don't necessarily have to participate just yet. But now Few once again getting punished here by Kid.
This is looking really bad. He just entered the lane and one more Abyssal Arrow. Oh, just misses by a couple of centimeters right there. But, talking about this RV scenario here, of course, still having Brent Esports here going for those buffs. It's going to be causing a little tension here. Lusty gets bursted. As you can see, Kit is now 2-1-0 with Abyssal Arrow, really sniping him down.
Kid is so good at keeping Bren Esports at bay. He got 2 kills from Bren Esports already, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna stop soon.
Now remember what the payoff is right now, because Yishin Chin's level 4 and Ace is still at level 3. They bought a ton of time at the cost of 2 kills, unfortunately, to say the least. But let's see whether they can convert this into something important. Like Kid, he is going to need to make sure that he lands those Abyssal Arrows. He's got 2 kills under his belt and Mystery Shop. If he ain't getting items and he ain't landing those Abyssal Arrows, he's just as good as dead.
Okay, first turtle fight, Kid goes down.
And it's going to be the engagement coming in from the side of Brand Esports. Great perfect pick as they connected Abyssal Arrow, but they jumped the gun. And this is where Brand Esports says, okay, we are coming right back at you with another 2 kills.
Just a bit of disrespect coming out from the side of Burmese Ghouls, but Brent, really good preemptive play, setting up their trenches early on.
They learned this as well from the side of Burmese Ghouls, like using that brush. That is a trademark. That is a move that comes from Burmese Ghouls. We've seen that in Game 3 and Game 4. Game 5, Brent Esports utilizing that Jawhead to do the same play.
Yeah, and now Burmese Ghouls is getting invaded once again. Kid tries to look for that catch, but here comes a little bit of defense coming in from Maybe. Tries to make sure that he's always in the front, soaking all the damages. And Diamond Force already popped up. Not enough to survive out of this 2v1 down by.
Wait, what is going on? Why is Kid still level 3? Maybe just hit level 4. Did Kid... Oh, looks like Kid just needs to get a little bit off of the Lethal Wanderer. It should be level 4. Yep, hits level 4 now. Maybe trying to make the play. Here comes... Oh, no. He is just caught down right after...
Oh, he's alive!
He's alive! No way! This time! No way! The quicksand guard kept him alive! And now D, he's trying to finish him up, but he's by time Rebo! He makes it out! No way! No way!
Insane! Can we get a replay on that? He just outplayed Burmese Ghouls, and what a finisher!
That was a good plan coming up from Burmese Ghouls. Now, they poured everything onto that pickoff, but I guess it wasn't really the best target.
It has to be an executional misplay, right? They literally were on top of him. Once again, the whirlwind is going to get on towards you. Buddy Kid gets ejected backwards, and that's going to be the end of Selena almost instantaneously. Bren, can you feel their blood pumping? I can feel the momentum coming out of these boys.
I just feel that having a break gives this gives this players new perspective on this.
Yeah, gotta thank those 8 it's coffees out there. You know, they've been getting themselves a little bit boosted up with that. And speaking of which, it's gonna be the turtle taken by Brand Esports again, going for the dive. They have managed to catch out maybe, and this is gonna be the ejector on towards Kid. How far can you run, Kid? Make your way out because they're coming for you. Now Ace forcing out a flicker. Calamity Reaper being brought by Ruby DD, but Brand Esports, they are just storming their way freely.
Now, Burmese Ghouls, they're having a bit of a problem in terms of execution. Maybe he's playing a good game, to be honest.
Yep.
He has put all the Hurricane Dance in on his belt, and it trapped a lot of people already. A lot of heroes on the side of Brand Esports. But the thing is, Brand Esports has been more responsive and more reactive to what Burmese Schools does.
I mean, those executional misplays could be a problem here as D is trying to lock down Rebo once more. Maybe he's walking up close, but again, here comes the Raging Sandstorm. He gets hit by the Missile Arrow. Kid should be able to secure this one. No way! They're going to let him live again. Not going to make the second mistake again as Ruby DD coming in with the Xamin Force. Going to be pushing on forward, and the Yi Shin taking away and invading that purple buff here. But on top side, once again, it's going to be Flapteezy who's going to be locked down. And D, no! He actually gets him able to proc the passive and few. He's going to be on the run, but Lusty, even though he's there on the fight, it's a 2v3 situation, doesn't want to take it.
Okay, so for Brand Esports, yes, you have the lead, but you cannot go for those risky plays. You need to mind your position. As Burmese Ghouls, they have a lot of disposition. Maybe with the Hurricane Dance, if he catches you overextending, that is going to be a divided fight for your team.
Yeah, and you can definitely see that Burmese Ghouls, although they are ticked by the Khalid that has been causing them quite a lot of upset over the top side, they have managed to turn things around. And speaking of which, ejector on towards D. He's running for his life, but this is definitely going to be a goner for the side of Burmese Ghouls to try to rescue him in that sort of sense. So they have to give him up. Now, 4 versus 5 on this turtle, I think they also have to give even more back towards Brand Esports.
Credits to Lusty, he's doing an amazing job with these catches. However, he is collecting those kills when honestly it should be going to some other person. Hopefully that doesn't bite them in the butt later on into the game, but for now it's like, yay, okay, you've got the Athena shield, I don't mind tanking a couple of Abyssal Arrows.
Yeah. Kid is throwing those arrows, he's hitting those arrows, but the problem is Lusty is just always in his...
Oh! Punish!
Like that?
Again! Unstoppable Force as well! The Xamin Force is going to be popped out of the Blazing Door coming in from Ace, but Ace is kind of big here. He can't finish them off. Now Ruby DD is going to be the onslaught to try and push them down. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. It's a 2-for-2 trade. It's looking real good. Can they get another one? Flapteezy jumps off the wall to try and pull through it. He catches him off. Ace still with the orange buff. This is going to be huge. Oh my goodness. What a great fight coming in from both of these teams. But Bren still coming up on top.
Yeah, you can definitely see that D was actually controlling the tempo right there, but let's have a look at the items, Butters. I'm pretty sure that now some of these players are pretty huge in this match.
Okay, Karltizi will go for the Endless Battle. He's just setting it up. But while for Ace, he has the Demon Hunter Sword, and that is going to go to a Golden Staff. That's pretty standard. But one of the players that you really have to look out for is Ruby DD. He has a Calamity Reaper, the Feather of Heaven, and that is going to be bad for Brand Esports if they do not take account of this hero. They need to look. They need to be aware of their surroundings. They need to choose their fights. Don't fight on narrow spaces if they want to win this. But for Burmese Schools, if you want to win, place your fights there.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've been looking at all these sort of picks, right? Just look at Lusty. He's actually going in towards a full armor build as well as getting tanky as it goes. But he's managing that 5 kills every single time that he goes in for the effort. Just going for the Unstoppable Force, trying to catch either Kid or at times maybe because he's the first target that you see most of the time, right? So making sure that you don't have Hurricane Dance when you need it the most is going to be very vital.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Hurricane Dance is a huge spell, but the Mountain Chakra coming out from Bren Esports' side, really smart stuff, especially when they're taking Turtle. Burmese Ghouls, they want to go in, but only when it's inconspicuous. Baby, he jumps on in with a 1,000-pounder and now forces out Lusty into that corner with the Hurricane Dance, forcing out the fight. Ruby Kid is going down. Ace already coming in with the Blazing chasing the win. It's not going to be enough. He does get the golden staff, but the rest of the team, Brent is on the run. Can they turn this around? He turns it and tries to go. Kid gets on top of him. This time Force have been working out perfectly well, and they catch them out again. Kid, this wonder kid landing every important abyssal arrow yet.
What did we tell them about? No, not going in for the jungle in base, but Rebel now going for the catch as well. He's trying to pick up Ruby DD. This is gonna look pretty bad because Brand Esports loses another one, leaving only Kyle TZ behind.
Brand Esports, they're making these risky decisions that they shouldn't be even taking. They have the lead as of now, and after that, I think Burmese Ghouls, they know that they can fight at this point on 50 seconds on the timer on that Lord, and that is going to be the first major fight here that Burmese Ghouls is gonna take.
And I mean, the picks have been going really well. Let's look at the items one more time to get a better idea, because I did see Carl TZ actually getting the Endless Battle as well as the Blade of Despair all of a sudden, 2 in a row, and yeah, he is going to have a ton of damage already hitting level 15 on top of that.
You know what? Ace has his own items as well, and in terms of damage output, he has an AoE.
There we go. And he's going to mount the shotgun being used and expanded. Immediately reply with the Hurricane Dance as well, pinning him down towards the wall. Here comes Activity, trying to actually pop out that Electo into play. But my goodness, there's a split push coming off from the side of D. As Burmese Ghouls, they're tearing out some of all these members to different parts of the map. But Rebel, down in the middle of it all, it's going to be Abyssal Arrow trying to connect towards the side of Brand Esports. Baptiste, he does get a lot of damage out towards the side of Ace, but Ace walks away alive. But still, D is on the back. They might just actually look for pigs, but we're going in for a little bit of room to just dissect this big fight that just erupted.
Oh my goodness, these fights have been absolutely ridiculous here, but right now the major issue that I'm seeing now, especially since the 8th minute, pull it back one more minute, the 7th minute of the game here, is the fact that Benedetta isn't exactly clearing her waves before she joins that fight, resulting in a lot of not even missed opportunities, just a lot of gold for free going over to the side of the Burmese Ghouls. Like, Yuzong getting a huge push on that top side shouldn't be happening.
And this is where Brand Esports, I think, is having tunnel vision. Like, they just want to win the fights, and they know that they can. But still, if it's going to be an even, it's going to be an even trade. Like, let's say 2 for 2.
Leo,
then someone just gets a push onto the bottom lane. That's going to the side of Burmese Ghouls.
totally fair. But Leo, what are some of your thoughts on this while we're in this in-game pause?
This reminds me of Game 4. Remember Game 4? It was all Bren in the early game. And then as soon as the Marksman, Ace, and Ruby DD came online, it's over. It's over. Like, this is what it's turning about. And so far, it's frustrating to see Bren just fall for these traps. Again, like, oh, here's one. No. We got you. And then Burmese Ghouls turn around. And again, the accuracy of D on this Selena is just ridiculous.
Oh, you mean Kid, actually.
Kid. Well, yeah, Selena on Kid on Selena. It is what it is.
It honestly really is nasty. And Aaron, I want to get your thought on this because, again, the chase, just the fact that Burmese Ghouls, when they get that first initial pick, they really know how to chase you down.
Yeah, and immediately, that's where the Akai responds, and will all of them just topple all these sort of members all the way in towards that dive. And look at all these sort of these scenarios that has came by. Like, the Yuzong also roams freely. Like, it's something that, honestly, Burmese Ghouls definitely knows they're not going to be focusing on towards these Yuzong anyways, and he gets that free reign up top, now opening up the map. So someone has to deal with this situation when they go in towards fights, because this sort of split push can happen again.
That's how bad it is for Brenny Sports right now. Is because D is having the time of his life up top, and the mere fact that out there is maybe this Akai, it just splits open the map and again gives D all the space to just wreak havoc in one single lane. Gideon, has this changed your mind? Do you like the Akai now? Are you a believer?
I'm not 100% believer on it. Butters, what do you think?
I think it's actually effective against this side of Brand Esports.
It stops you from making those important place, like your positioning. You gotta keep it in check. But Bren Esports, they've been falling for these traps, and that is why I think Akai is working.
I don't personally. I don't think Akai is working at 100%. I would give it's working at 70% efficiency here.
Hey, 70% is better than less than 50.
Agreed. However, my biggest concern for the side of Brent Esports is mainly Flapteezy, because he knows he's supposed to be this big damage dealer for the team, and he feels like, I gotta be in this fight, but he's gotta believe that Carl Teasy is able to pull this out, because at the end of the day, Flapteezy's job is to make sure they don't lose side objectives when these fights occur. He clears faster than the Yuzong. He rotates faster than the Yuzong every single time.
True enough, but speaking of buying time here, it's going to be maybe it being that sort of the non-value target that is always bugging the back lines or the front lines of the side of Brent Esports, and really buying time for this Lord, and it will be Burmese Ghost that gets it in the way. Flicker being popped there from the side of Lusty. Ace goes in for the place. They get that ping on towards the Giant, but look at maybe he does lose a lot of health, but Flapteezy coming in to cut right through. Ruby DD tries to turn this one around. Flapteezy has to make a way to Ash right out, but the rest of Brent Esports, they're slowly being wiped away.
Oh my goodness, Burmese Ghouls. They're so good with these reinitiations. The counter engage, they go for a fake back, then Brent Esport chases. Burmese Ghouls just surprises them by pushing forward as well.
I mean, Brent, they are getting hot-headed here. They are really tunnel visioning on these situations. The moment the Lord is gone, yes, you can force, but again, I have to admit, even I would have fallen for something like that. But again, discipline is going to be key, because the Burmese Ghouls managed to outplay so many of them. Flapteezy ended up getting solo killed by Ruby DD, even though he did have the execute. Something you don't usually see.
Yeah, and just look at how huge Ace is at right now. But over the top side, there's also another situation going on. They're trying to force their way through, as Ripple is already clearing out the wave. Over on the mid side, you can definitely see Flapteezy keeping an eye out as well. Oh, great damage onto Kid, but Missile Arrow does not land. Now, they do find a way to actually open up the bottom side, and the side lane's pretty much exposed.
Oh boy, it's going to be a game of scaling here. Ruby DD is able to get another inhibitor turret on top of everything else. And Ace, he comes in with the battle mirror image. He's also got the orange buff, so he does a bit of damage, bringing Flapteezy down to 50% of his HP.
Okay, maybe. This is something that Akai does as well, Gideon. Like, you can't really position yourself near the brushes just because there could be a hurricane dance that's about to hit you. And he does have the flicker as well. It's not the same as your Akai Petrify. He can position himself well with this.
And also, now that he's purchased that immortality, having 2 lives into play, and this can go on for so much longer. Mountain Shocker exposes Kid, so he's going to be falling back on Flapteezy, being pretty much close proximity. It might just be a pick right here. Brilliants have already been popped coming from the Lunox, but maybe trying to force the issue right now. Brent Esports respecting the dives, and Lusty gets caught out. Flickers away, but still having Ace picking him off. It's a mega kill for the Yuzong. 2 members down, and man, Brent Esports needs to defend for their lives right now.
And honestly, maybe is doing a really good job acting as a threat. Flapteezy is going to clear up the waves as soon as he can, but now Ruby DD is getting into that backline, drops that Salmon Force, gets that free kill, and Brand, they just got to let this one escape here. 10 more seconds till Lusty comes back up, but wait, there is no wave. Oh no, it's going to be Flapteezy who's going to get caught out here, stuck against the wall. That's going to be GG. Burmese Ghouls take the 5th round.
Burmese Ghouls at match point, and they are feeling good about this. They feel confident. You can hear them screaming. It's there. One more game for Burmese Ghouls. Just one more game.
They need that championship point in hand, and oh my goodness, they are sitting pretty and just needing that few more steps in towards the finish line. And Leo, honestly, is it signs that Brent Esports are losing a lot of energy to cross that hurdle?
I don't know if it's frustration, if it's fatigue, if it's just the way that they play. They're not used to battle of attrition like this. But if there's anything I'm seeing, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the caster's desk. is the fact that it's deja vu. This feels like game number 4. Bren obviously had the early half of that game up until the point wherein Burmese Ghouls were just reading them and telling them, all right, fight over here, pick off 1-2. Fight over here, fight over here, pick off 1-2. And then they just come to the point wherein Bren can't even leave their own base.
Oh boy, I totally agree, and especially towards the later stages of the game, Akai just became more and more relevant, especially when the Yuzong was pretty much unstoppable at that point of time. Really,
there is a difference. Well, I did discuss this earlier. There is a difference between the Akai Petrify and the Akai Flicker.
Yeah.
The Akai Flicker has a lot of gap closers, the 1000 Pounder, the Flicker as well, and you saw that at the final play of Akai. He used that to just go and catch Carl and Flap, the TZ brothers, in the same wall.
And that's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. So, Gideon, now that Burmese Ghouls have locked in their 3 games, they're 1 away from being named the M2 World Champions for 2020. Are you a believer now in the Akai? Has this changed your mind, or is one game just one game?
One convert this, and this will be more than that 50% that I mentioned.
Numbers, but I'm not 100% believer. I do think that there are very clear weaknesses, and you have to kind of give it the kid who kind of compensated for the fact that Akai was essentially a non-factor until he hit level 4.
All right, so he helped out. So Kid was the training wheels.
Yeah.
Slowly, Akai might get there, but
Exactly.
we need more reps. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our take on game number 5. Wow. Those words leaving my lips just gives me the shivers because it could all end in the very next minutes. All right, stay with us because we're going to have our analysts, Lafel and Wolf, breaking down game number 5. Boys, tell us.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And yeah, right now it's basically BG game point, where again, it looks like they were like, okay, we didn't do so good in the early and the mid stages, but in the late game, we got it. My name is Lafel, and this is Wolf. Wolf, talk us through it. What happened?
Oh man, space for Ace is getting truer and truer every game that we watch Burmese Ghouls. And I think that this is off of the fact that everybody else from Burmese Ghouls understands Mobile Legends, particularly in understanding win conditions.
Exactly.
This particular game, they know that they are not that strong in the early stages. In fact, they have conceded some of the important objectives, but what they did not concede is the farm on the Claude. And I have to really give a lot of emphasis on how Kid was able to equalize this game. Here's the thing, they were losing so badly, but if you have a very volatile hero like that of the Selena, which was, by the way, first picked by the Burmese Ghouls, there's your difference maker.
And right now, let's look at the itemization as well as the hero use in this game. And again, Selena, just like you said, Kid on Selena did work. First of all, in the early game, where Brand Esports, they tried to invade the jungle. But Selena, the traps, it hurts. And even win that 1v1 with the Lunox. And then after that, a lot of those crazy arrows hitting the targets from Brand Esports, creating a very easy initiation by the team of Burmese Ghouls, and making Brand Esports like, okay, could you stop this kind of hurts?
Yeah. I want to say Khalid last pick by Brenny Sports. It made a lot of sense to me. And Rebo played his heart out. There were many times where he won his lane, was able to bail out the members of Burmese Ghouls. He picked up a good itemization with the casual Dreadnought armor as well as the Deadly Blade that kind of countered the sustain from Burmese Ghouls. My oh my, he performed so well. Unfortunately for Brenny Sports, it was a one-dimensional hero. That is the biggest problem you have with the Khalid. As strong as he is, you kind of know what he wants to do and what he brings to the table. Lusty played his heart out. Yisenship was also good. However, Brent Esports, they were too focused on winning those big objectives that they forgot they have to control the map.
And right now, if we could hold this image for just a little while, I want to prove your point.
Yeah.
Where Burmese Ghouls, they understand, it's like, hey, Brand Esports, we watch your games. You like that turtle? Take it. 4 turtles to Brand Esports and 0 to Burmese Ghouls. They're like, we don't need that right now. As important as it is, if they play the turtle, Brand Esports will win 8 times out of 10. So they're like, we do not want to take the chance.
Yep.
We just want to farm. Look at the Claude. 6, 0, 11. Itemization. Basically almost full damage. Yes, the Wind of Nature is used in a more defensive kind of sense, but it's still attributing to the physical attack. As well as the Queen's Wings has the ability to sustain the damage just a little bit more. But the thing is, 6, 0, 11, He's doing so good.
Brand Esports with the tempo and them understanding that they needed to take the turtles. It was so amazing to the point where I didn't notice that we had 4 turtles.
Yeah.
Because it is true. If you take the turtle for about 2 minutes to 2 minutes and 20 seconds,
Yep.
and you continuously get it, you'll get to up to 4 turtles. That's why Brand Esports were leading by so much. However, Burmese Ghouls, they're playmakers. Like, look at this guy, Akai, 0 and 5. But can you say that he played badly in this game? Absolutely not. He knew exactly what his role was in this game, which was to make the space for Ace. Do take note, the Granite and the Claude, they will take a lot of time for them to get the farm up, but Burmese Ghouls know how to do it.
And right now the MVP of the game is going over to Kid with the Selena, because KDA don't matter. It matters what you do in the game, in the early stages of the game. Just like what our casters say, he's the training wheels. But the thing is, this training wheel really helped them out in the early stages of the game, making sure that they proceed to the mid stages a little bit safely, and in the late stages, giving all that crucial information to make sure that they don't get caught, making sure that those arrows hit a very clean initiation. And the thing is, this kid is good.
Yeah, he ain't kidding. That's one of my posts out there. This guy, the Selena, really punished Brand Esports many times in this particular game. Do take note, Brand Esports, they were leading. And it's natural for a team who's leading to kind of go up front and collide head-on against their opponent's side. And even if you look at the heroes of Brand Esports, they kind of want to go in front of their opponents. Like, you have the Khalid, you have the Joy, you want to go inside those fights. But the one-by-one audition happened once again.
Yeah.
They went in one after the other, and they were picked apart easily by Burmese Ghouls.
Either way, right now, Brand Esports is do or die.
Or die.
Whatever they need, coffee or whatever, they gotta get it right now, because if they lose, this is potential the final game. But if they win, then we're gonna go all out. It's basically gonna be a best of one all over again. We are gonna look closely at the draft, but more importantly, we want to see how the game is played according to those phases. If the early game Brand Esports play aggressive enough, that's good. But if they don't end it by, say, 12 minutes, 40 minutes, then Burmese Ghouls have a very good chance to end it out.
You know what's really scary about this? Burmese Ghouls have proven that they can defeat the Flapsha.
Yeah.
They can defeat the Cartesian Lancelot.
Yeah.
They can defeat the Farsa. They have shown that some of they can defeat the Yuzong as well, right?
Yeah.
Burmese Ghouls have shown so much, and it's gonna be really scary on the side of Brand Esports. However, we do want to see a game number 7, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But with how Burmese Ghouls have been performing in the past 3 games, this is really scary. They look like a team that's in it to get that trophy on top of that turret.
Either way, even without that Diggy, looks like Burmese Ghouls, they still have a ticking time bomb. Beat us out by this time. If not, it's done. Either way, we're gonna go straight to the casters to go straight to our game, potentially the last game. My name is Avel, this is Wolf. Casters, please take it away.
Thank you so much, LaFell and Wolf, breaking down game number 5. Before this all begins, once more, we would like to thank Tumi for being the partner in esports for M2. As the journey to become the champion of M2 has been perfected with the latest Tumi luggage and backpack, you can bring your gear anywhere with you safely without worry. Be sure to check out Tumi.com to perfect your own journey and enjoy the M2 competition.
An established distributor of many well-loved consumer brands in Asia, the SUTL Group is proud to be MLB's partner in esports of 2021 for Fiji Water, iChung's It's Cups, and Mountain Dew. To find out more, visit www.sutl.com.
Catch the live streaming of the mega event Mobile Legends BangBang M2 World Championship 2020 held in Singapore for free on MeWatch. That's happening all the way from the 18th till today. So this is the very last match you're watching. If you're watching from MeWatch, what's good? A total of 12 teams have come to compete from 9 countries to win the lion's share of 300,000 USD, and it might all come to a head right here, right now. Game number 6. The Burmese are threatening a finish. And may I just say, I don't know, for our viewers, welcome, by the way. My name is Leo. This right here is Contra, Gideon Q, and Butters. And correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but Atanki Hakarar. That is Burmese for impressive.
Very, very impressive indeed. And we saw a full throttle run coming from Burby Skulls. And wow, now this is the championship point that we're talking about. It's time that if Brand Esports need to find that answer to just halt and put a break on this full speed Burmy Skull side.
I don't know whether this is just the momentum here, because again, you can definitely see that, you know, when Brent starts off a game, they start really, really hot. And at that point in time, at least the idea for Burmese Ghouls, they understand, they wait for a particular power spike before taking back these fights. And they are very, very clear on when to do it as well.
Burmese Ghouls are really just disciplined. Like, from minute 1 to minute 20, their game won't change. They make adjustments here and there, but the core, the discipline, they don't take risky plays. If they ever take risky plays, then they make it a bit calculated. They go for the best path. Now for Bren Esports, they kind of have this, how do I say this? They really just, tunnel vision. They just want to get the kills as much as possible. They want to punish the first person they see on their side of the jungle. They're not really making the best plays for their side.
I see. They're getting frustrated, and I'm pretty sure, just the same as all of us here at the caster desk, viewers are sweating bullets, right? Viewers from Myanmar, they could walk away with the championship. Viewers from the Philippines, they're hoping for one more game, right?
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, Butters. I think it's frustration. I think it's frustration and a mix of fatigue because, do note, Brain Sports, they've been playing since the morning.
And,
yeah. On top of that, of course, they also have to be a little bit more far-sighted because that's what Boom's goals are. Like, immediately we saw that Selena coming in with the first pick, we're like, something so volatile and you're going for the first pick, and it started to make so much more sense. They're looking for all these sort of setups alongside with the Akai. Yep, you got the mid shields coming in. As much as you don't trust Akai, you got to trust Panda, who's on stage drafting this game.
Panda has been drafting these games well. Ducky isn't really new to this certain kind of, let's say, certain kind of atmosphere, the grand finals. He's not new here, but for Panda, he's keeping his cool. He's making good pick. He's putting good drafts for his team, and his team really looks comfortable for Game 3, Game 4, Game 5.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, Panda is just an inspiration to a lot, to basically everybody in Myanmar right now, because he's not, like, previously in M1, one of his players not exactly having the best of times, he stood in and said, don't worry, I will be the one who will take his position, and they went pretty far into M1, and I quoted then, these guys have a lot of potential. Give them a year, and they're going to be back to win it, and I honestly didn't think that they would do it. It feels like it was only yesterday, and look at them now.
Yeah, and some may say it felt more like a year that these guys are playing with each other, and wow, it just felt like yesterday was, you know, the other tournament back then in 2019, and wow, they just changed so rapidly in every single match with those drafts.
Shocking everyone, right? Shocking everyone. Predictions out the window. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reality we have. 2021 is the age of the Burmese Ghouls. And right now, Brenny Sports, they have to disprove that. It's on them. They have to work extra hard.
Yeah, and clearly now Panda is just sitting there, just waiting, just rubbing his hands, brewing his next big strategy that he's going to go for game number 6. For Bren Esports here, they look worried. They really look worried.
I mean, this is match point. Like, when you get to that, honestly, a lot of people don't understand what it's like to be in an environment once you have reached the pinnacle, when you are right at the mountaintop. And guess what? When you hit that plateau of saying this is the highest peak, you look across the other side and you see somebody else who also reaches there. Only one of you can claim it here. And with that much pressure, everything sort of just fades away, and all the responsibilities and all the expectations are going to be on your shoulders. This is going to be the heaviest fight of these two teams' lives and careers.
Yep. Real quick before the draft begins, let's talk about why this happens, all right? How come 2 games in a row, Brenny Sports owns the first half, and then later on, at a very, very defined moment, I'm guessing if the numbers are correct, it'll fall somewhere between the 10 to 12 minute mark. Things just fall sideways. We'll get to the answer later. All right, I want you guys to think about the answer. I want y'all to consider all the factors as to why it happened. We have 2 games to look back to. While I tell the good folks at home watching that we are pleased to announce the launch of the new anniversary season of Magic Chess Blazing Hammer. The new adventure will officially begin on January 30th. There's a new upgrading system called Blessing, new little commander and map. All synergies will be revamped, and free trial of advanced skins await you. Once more, this is Battle Night happening on January 30th. Log in to claim your free permanent skin. All right? Teacher Leo in the building, who wants to go first and try to answer?
Mr. Leo, pick me.
Get in
Pick me.
queue.
Okay, so with the lineups that we've been seeing for the Burmese schools, for a large majority of the way they kind of been playing this game, they like to kind of play around, especially marksmen who have a item power spike, and specifically 2 item power spikes. Those are going to be the meta ones that we're looking for, and the same goes for mages who are falling into that same sort of region here. The Hariths, the Lunox. By 12 minutes, if you are so far behind that you can't get 2 items, I don't know what to say. You've pretty much already lost the game. And Bren Esports so far, I think the major problem that they get into is once they hit that 11-minute mark, they're thinking, I gotta finish this game, I gotta finish this game, I gotta finish this game, and tunnel vision, making very careless plays when really they should be waiting for Lord.
Yeah, this is definitely the point out there, because they should play the bigger macro game out there just to ensure, okay, all these normal things that you should be looking out for. Waves, is it checked? Have you been pushing out those turrets? And if the Lord's not coming up by then, yeah, just keep repeating it.
All right. So far, answers in. Locking them in, all right. Information overload, Butters. Before we get to your answer, that's the draft starting. Diggy taken out, as well as Yusen Shin by Bren Sports, and the Burmese Ghouls get rid of Esmeralda, waiting on that back shot. Now, why do you think Bren falls off?
I mean, it's all about the hero choices. Like, you pick an assassin, a Lancelot. Lancelot is hard up until is easy to use up until the 12-minute mark. When you get past that first Lord, that is going to be your only opening. So it's hard to end. It's hard to end a game against Burmese schools that fast.
Guys, there's a Brody online.
Natalia hasn't been banned out. Boxia hasn't been banned out. This is, oh boy. I don't know what to say about this, but it looks like Bren, being on the blue side, wants to take full advantage of the fact that, hey, you've been using Yishin Shin, Diggy, as well as Claude a little too efficiently. Chop, 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 chop.
Yeah.
Let's cut him right in the ankle.
Yeah, I guess 6 games in a row seems to be enough of a litmus test to understand what makes things tick. And right now, Burmese Ghouls say, all right, well, let's go back to what's been working. Yu Zhong and Baksha, no hard counter out there for you, Bren. This is the Burmese way. Contra, you were saying?
Yeah, I was about to say that, you know, they want to go back to the drawing board, not look towards assassins anymore. They were also great in playing all these marksmen, like, you know, we saw the Claude, but now you have that triple S tier pick, Brody.
Yeah.
So this triple S tier pick should be getting them pretty much a hit, but pairing it up is going to be pretty vital against this Baxia.
Natalia Silvana, that's my guess.
Oh,
It could be. And Alice and Lunox.
Completely off.
What?
Completely off.
What?
Okay, so they just address the problem at hand. They just pick it. They know Burmese Ghouls really really ban out the Alice for the second phase.
Oh,
So yeah, it's fair. Like Bren Esports, they ban out the Diggy, right? They also ban the Claude. These are heroes that Burmese Schools really use, and Ace plays a mean Claude.
I'm not going to disagree, but my big question is, like, why would you play Alice into the Baxia? You know Baxia has already been locked in. You can visibly see it.
yeah, that's like obviously picking a rock in your opponent's paper, right?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're one move away from tic-tac-toe, and all of a sudden you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it out there.
Like, this is the defense right here. I just go off. But
Yeah.
back to the bans. We'll figure out what Bren is thinking here. Burmese Ghouls, they ban out the Jawhead. So yeah, obviously a read. Of the 3 rows in mid, they did not feel lusty just yet. Rennie Sports banning out the Harith. Yeah, I think this is a block on Ruby DD.
Definitely a block on towards his side, and now with Harith being banned away, they're definitely getting Burmese goals, having so little to work with. But then again, I could be wrong here. But what are the chances here if Brent Esports go ahead, steal a copy of the homework once again, take a grok, an offensive grok, throw the bodies like how Burmese goes throw the bodies. Now that they have that layer of the Lunox in between.
Very possible, but do note it's the Burmese Ghouls who are going to go for the pick first. As soon as things come back around. Burmese Sports, they can ban out another side laner, or they can ban out a hero from Ace. Ace does not have a hero just yet.
Natalia, oh boy.
I feel that Hayabusa is going to be a great ban for the side of Bren Esports. It can close the gap between Brody and the Hayabusa, but Bren Esports just go for the Lapu Lapu. They could have picked that up for their side.
Beats me at this point. Beats me. But I think, Bren, they just needed to ban something. I mean, Baxia would have been fine against the Lapu Lapu or the Yuzong in these situations. You just have to kind of wait till level 4, clear the waves, and do your job A-okay. Now, Bren, they're going to be locking in the Benedetta. However, previously, Burmese Ghouls going to be locking in the Farsa as their pick.
Okay, they're getting a Benedetta right here. Do you feel like this is a little bit greedy with the picks, or is this going to be that mid lane Benedetta that we are seeing right here?
I think it's okay. It's the best that they got. And right here, right now, this is the Bren Gambit. Like, they're just picking heroes that are good for them so far. And yeah, Burmese Ghouls. Butters, you said it earlier. They needed the Hayabusa. It did not get banned. And yeah, now I see why the Lapu Lapu might have been a burn.
This is deadly. Double assassin team composition for Burmese Ghouls. The last time we saw a Hayabusa, do refresh me, when exactly was that?
It was when Bren took a series as well, earlier today.
Yeah.
Earlier today. Side lane Hayabusa.
Side lane Hayabusa. I don't know, because the important thing for specifically the Burmese Ghouls is just that wave control. And it's going to be a little bit difficult in the earlier stages of the game. You don't have the items, so you naturally have to depend on EXP to help you clear it out. But it's not the fastest. Bren, on the other side, they've got some decent, and I say decent wave clear at best. But they are an extreme, but they do have a Brody. And I don't know if Brody can compensate for all of that.
Honestly, it's definitely a tough question to answer right now because you got double assassins on deck. So if that OG Shadow kill alongside with Natalia trailing behind, like, what can you do?
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game number 6 could end right here, right now. This is the Burmese Ghouls versus Bren Esports. The age of Myanmar MLBB might as well be upon us.
You know, we're going in towards this championship point right here for the likes of Burmese Ghouls, but I'm thinking that Bren Esports, they have finally gotten enough of that tenacity. They know that it's been so many matches that we've been playing upper brackets, lower brackets, and we've made it thus far. But now, it's going to be Lusty with a temp.
Okay, Lusty is going to try and deny maybe from this buff here. They want to just make sure that Ace, he goes and gets the wave, but still manages to come back to pick it up. Not so bad overall. Didn't even have to use Retribution. However, 3 executes for the side of Burmese Ghouls. They're going to make sure they kill that one poor soul.
And Carl Teasy here is going to be the possible target of those executes. Probably Flap as well, since they don't really have the hold on that Benedetta. But yeah, I mean, Bren Esports just go for the information. Burmese Ghouls just trying to get their level 4, and probably they're gonna have a team fight by the time that Ruby DD hits level 4.
Did Lusty just pop that flicker for not much of a reason, and now he's being stuck in between? I'm not too sure if this is definitely the good call coming from Bren Esports, but View tries to pressure the rest of Burmese Ghouls all the way backwards, so lucky enough, he will be able to escape. But Dado, this is first blood for Kaltizi.
And this is usually the pacing of our early game. Bren Esports gets the early lead. Burmese Ghouls become disciplined. They don't take the risky plays, and they usually take the game back before the mid-game spike hits.
I mean, we're going to have to wait and see whether this is going to be the same case again. It also depends on how much of a lead that Bren is able to develop. But on top side, a lot of contestant here, especially between Ruby DD and with the help of Kid. It's becoming a bit tough, but Kid doesn't necessarily... Oh, he's kind of low here. This is going to be risky for both sides. Now, the fight is going to work here. Kid is going to be able to find that execute on to Cho, and unfortunately, that's going to be Burmese Ghouls picking this up, and it's going to be Farsa going to be zoning the rest out. Phew! He's kind of low, and now... Oh! The headshot with the flames!
What a
boy,
long range.
goodness.
I think that's actually a max range flame shot that we're seeing. Trying to go in for the body block, but oh boy, still gets caught out. Feels bad, not gonna lie.
So what happened there? Bren Esports, they had Flap only at level 3. He didn't have the Electro Final Blow. Burmese Ghouls, their course, were at level 4, so they had a better time just controlling that certain fight.
Turtle that much important, especially at a key point in the game. Now, Bren, okay, fine. You get it. You get 2 kills. We're able to trade 1. You get a turtle. No big deal. No big deal. Now you have to start looking for the punish. But Kid, he drops down the smoke screen as well with the help of D, actually behind him with the feather airstrike to make sure they are punishing Flapteezy as much as they can.
This is a battle between Lusty and Kid on how good they are at finding each other. So the one who's it is going to be Lusty, and the one who's hiding is always going to be Kid.
For sure, for sure. With the kit on kit, definitely it's a lot more harder in this game of hide and seek, but you know, Flapteezy is gonna have to contribute in towards the late game because at least the side of Brent Esports, they have some insurance, and here comes the fight.
Oh, maybe he's already starting the initiation with RBD jumping into the backline. Flapteezy is now in trouble, but now Rebo taking a full hit of the Oki Shadow kill. Really clean initiation coming in from the Burmese Ghouls, but does Brent want to look for some, you know, retribution kills? No, it looks like they back away.
Over on the mid side though, D easily just flutters away, but opening up towards the top lane, Burmese Ghouls will be able to secure not only gold, but okay, just gold for the moment, but Lusty going for the catch on towards Ruby DD. They tried to make a run. Wave of the Dragon already connects, and there goes Yuzong.
Yep.
Alright, now, Burmese Ghouls, they do have the triple execute setup, but they don't have the flicker. So if they get caught out, they don't have that way to create a gap. Bren Esports and Burmese Ghouls really just wants to go at it at Bren Esports. They just want to stay near Rebo there, almost going down, and maybe to secure the kill.
Yep, they sacrifice Rebo for the sake of Turtle here, and now Bren Esports, they gotta make sure that they are constantly looking to try and initiate a lot of these fights. But Kid, he's gonna be walking in drop, doesn't drop the smoke screen and just wants to focus on the wave, maybe coming in from the flag, lands on top a few for now, drops up to Toys Poissons, but again, no real initiation and no real commitment from the Burmese Ghouls.
Have you seen the pattern just yet? Every single time that they go for a turtle, it's like, yeah, go take the turtle, I'm gonna punish Rebo on the side lane, and this has been happening for many of these games, and now Flapteezy managed to actually make a little bit of the move, but maybe is so bold on this move, but he catches few instead. Order spins being popped up as they all get knocked into the air. Wave of the Dragon will get a kill for Flapteezy.
Ruby DD trying to get on top of it, but it's not looking too good. He gets hit by the execute coming in from maybe. A few manages to get on out of there. Now the feather airstrike does come down to Kitten, forcing a retreat, but he can't really do too much as he's just sitting down hoping he doesn't die. He knew he was going to die, so he just runs back, says emo, hello, hello, goes down over to Flapteezy.
Burmese Ghouls, they got punished a bit. And now, that should be you, Contra. But Bren Esports, I was passing it to you, but Bren Esports, Ruby DD is their next target. Yuzong here gets caught out, but do they have enough damage?
Yeah, they do, and they managed to get that pick, and that's what they were looking for. Honestly, y'all had a moment there. Yeah, y'all made eye contact. I felt real uncomfortable there for a second.
Do you want to join?
No, please. I'd like to look at the game.
It's understand three ways anyway, so with that, Bren Esports now focusing on towards the turret. I'm thinking that this kid is going pretty huge, but here comes Lusty, flushing out maybe, but good news for Bren Esports, they finally get a turret right here, and the insurance policy that I mentioned in the form of Flapteezy actually working very well for them.
Yeah, it's going well, and you know, Ace, he's getting that push onto that mid lane here, but maybe he's trying to distract them as much as possible with the Toys Poissons, but Flapteezy, he's not really into the idea. Something is up, and Ruby DD does come from the engage on towards that flanking through mid, but few not all about it as well. It goes into that Brilliance, but this is where the fight is going to get interesting. Rebo can decide to actually go in. This is it. Lusty looking for an opportunity to jump on in. Ruby DD is trying to hold him up, but D into a sideways. They don't realize it. They're going in
Oh.
huge. The feathered airside trying to chuck down Few, but Lusty is able to cancel him out. They pick him off. There goes Kid. There goes D. And now the entire backline is gone. Brent can start focusing on the front line. Rubini is the next to fall. A double kill coming in from Flapteasy. And maybe he just needs to sacrifice his life to allow Ace to live for the greater good.
What did I tell you? This is a great activation coming from Brent Esports, and they can't find the answers to Kaltizi at all.
This is just a back and forth between these two teams. And
no.
Ace almost getting caught out, but there is going to be Kid trying to take down Carl.
Can they pull this off, though? I mean, okay, Flame Shot coming out just to double-check the brush here, but I have to give it to Brent Esports. Leslie, he has been such a pivotal point for this team, literally with at least a 70% KPA kill participation in this entire game. It is just phenomenal how he keeps on trying to get on D.
Yeah, just looking at the current situation here, like a lot of things have been expanded in that sort of fight, and Brent Esports having 1 minute away from that Lord, it's definitely going to be huge if they can get something out of this mid lane. Blade of Despair already being purchased by Ace.
Oh, D, he's once again, he's gonna really take it there. But now Few, he's on the run. He doesn't want to be a part of this no more. No, don't do it. He quickly goes into his brilliance here, but I don't think he's gonna survive. With the help of Lusty, could he maybe turn this around? Oh no,
Ruby.
Here comes the kill squad. It's gonna be Ruby DD chasing after Lusty here as maybe is trying to run Few down. If he doesn't take it finally using the execute, but here comes Ace. He's able to get that kill onto Lusty. It's gonna be
Wait
a
a minute.
3-for-1 trade. Look at Flapteasy. He's got the push onto top side.
Sword intent used, and they're just trying to go for the push. There is going to be minions onto the bottom side here on the side of Brent Esports, and they might just get the trade.
Yeah, and I definitely like this sort of trade, but Rainbow has already arrived. Blood Ult Fame popped up, trying to tank every single hit coming from the side of Hermit's goals. He gets popped, but here comes Kaltizi, though. He's trying to tear them apart, but maybe he's trying to run for it. Flapteasy has just arrived, and hello, meet the Electo, and Kid coming in from the back as well. They tried to dance this one up. One last shot does it. It's a double kill for Kaltizi.
This is huge. Bren is gigantic here. I mean, you gotta give it to him. Brody was a problem, and I think everybody understands why.
TZ connection. This is the TZ brothers, and they do not want their dream to end here.
Ruby is coming right in to disrupt the flow, but here comes D. He gets popped up. This is looking pretty tough, but Brent Esports, they finally get the Lord, but here comes Revo. He tries to hold on. Kaltizi, 12 minutes from dropping down. Maybe the last member standing in this Lord pit for Burmese goals.
Oh my goodness, this game.
It's a tug of
Back
war.
and forth. This is a seesaw, a tug of war. Kid is there. He might go for Karl.
Oh, he goes in, Kid. He's looking for an opportunity. He can't seem to get it. The brilliance has popped up in time. Burmese goals. They go down. Kaltizi still alive. No executes available. Oh my goodness. They finally start pulling ahead.
My word. Just look at the items. I can't go into explain more, Butters. You gotta do this.
Okay, alright, let me do this. Now, Kid is planning to go for the Blade of Despair. I'm lost for words here. But the items are now out. Let's just go
Lusty.
here. Lusty goes in, catches this Farsa, and that is going to be the first line of defense down. And these are going to be turrets falling very low. Few in the middle of everything. He has a lot of lifesteal.
Yeah, the re-engagement from Burmese Ghouls they are considering, but they realize no waves, no go. They don't have the members to pull this off, and not to mention, I mean, Flapteasy, they don't know exactly where he is. And once again, the inhibitors are under scrutiny here. And finally, they break the mid inhibitor. Few finally getting his Holy Crystal, and they want to push in for more.
This is the gameplay that we have been waiting for from the side of Brent Esports. Slow and steady does it, but look at Kid though. He's in the position right here. Ruby D, he tries to buy a little bit more time, looking for the flank angles here. They're looking for the kill onwards maybe, and they do get it. But Kid, he gets popped out. This is big news for Brent Esports as they are now reaching right in. Flapteasy goes in to take them down, but Yuzong managed to stop what they are looking for right there. And both Lusty and Flapteasy, they bow out.
What a defense coming in from the Burmese Ghouls here. That Oki Shadow kill totaling to a 2.8k worth of damage.
Okay, what happened there was Burmese Ghouls were starting their fights with the Farsa getting caught out. They used their base as an advantage. They let the Farsa start at a late part of the fight to use the feathered airstrike, and that really gave them the win for that.
Oh, and D already with a feathered airstrike, chunking Few out to literally 1 HP, and this is why Bren Esports has been targeting him time and time again.
Yeah, you can definitely notice that this itself has been pretty much on a seesaw ride, and Flapteezy looking for that catch. And from the back, it's going to be Flapteezy that will be cutting right in, trying to connect that Electo onto its members, but it's going to be Kit here that is getting chased down. So how long can this Natalia go?
He just has to buy time. Kid is just looking to buy as much time as possible as the rest of the team is rotating towards the bottom side of the map. However, mid prior isn't there either, so regardless... Oh, Ace, he can't get...
The Dragon in towards the middle, and you can see the Lunox have been tearing them apart. And there goes Ridity. He's getting chased by. Maybe it's retreating right now. This might just be the turf pick that they've been looking for. But look at how tanky he is. He's still diving over the backline. Flame Chop misses, but Lusty, he's making a way for a retreat. Flapteezy now tries to dive right back in towards the fight. Flapteezy, he tries to shred them, but
look at this turn!
1v3!
Oh, he wants to take this all for himself. Ruby DD tries to go with the black tail, but he doesn't
go.
go. The Dragon Tail does not connect in time, and Flapteezy secures that kill. Oh boy, this fight. It's so close. It is so close. It comes down to a wire's edge, and we're seeing double ults coming out now.
That was a 1v3. Carl there, a pick off on him could have just ended the game, or could have given the next objective Lord to the side of Burmese Schools, but he did not hesitate. He just went in.
Speaking of hesitations here, there should be no hesitations on this Lord Brand Esports. If they get this hands on this, Burmese Goals may not be able to come back anymore. Here comes Maybe though. Just try to get vision. Lord is now in favor of Brand Esports. All they have to do, go in for the reset. But Kid also trailing behind. They try to, of course, cost multiple bombs of cred. But how can Burmese Goals stop this?
Burmese Goals, they're just going to have to clear the waves. They have to play this smart. And Brand, they just did the recall, so this is a great opportunity because they slightly mistimed it. So they have about 3 seconds to pull this off. Lusty fighting a catch onto Maybe here. He gets away with the Dragon, but look at that backline. Few gets chucked out quickly as Ace going on in with the initiation coming in from Ruby DD. However, the Toys Poissons, just to trail it off, they should be able to take out the Lord as well as the sided Powered Wave Lord minions as well.
Last minute, the Roar has already been bought from the side of Kalteezy. Now, they've already cleared out the Lord, so great execution coming from the side of Burmese Goals, but look at all the minions marching right in from the lower side. Maybe tries to pull this off, and order of villains in return for the feathered airstrike. Brand Esports looking to tear up the turret, and here comes the last Gura, and Brand Esports looking to push it in towards Game 7, and Burmese Goals have to defend this one. Flapteezy goes in for the act, though, trying to cut off all these waves. The field is down. Not looking all too good for Brand Esports right now. They are looking to turn this one around. Ace gets kicked all the way towards the back. Lusty, Ripple, they're on the retreat. Same goes to Flapteezy. Kalteezy still got full health, though. He's looking to turn this one. Rubinity, he just have to advance forward with this order buff being up for contention. Definitely Kalteezy should be able to get this one, as this goes on a slight reset, only for one exchange.
Oh my goodness, Bren unable to crack open the Burmese Schools. They do profit a lot with those two inhibitors, but can they finish off this game already? They've got that lead. However, if one more fight occurs and the Burmese Schools defend against them, oh no, Bren, Flapteezy, he can't get caught out like this. The Courage Mask has already been popped here, but he wants to go for more. He's getting a bit greedy. He's going to get hit with the Electo, but now he's able to actually go for the eye for the eye. BG, they're stuck. They're out in the open. Kid, he's going to get on out of there. The rest of Bren, they're looking to cut them off. Ace, he's going to pull on through. Does he get hit by any CC? No, he doesn't. He goes into the Oki Shadow Kill for. Maybe he's going to get caught out. Ace manages to make it out. Now, in the backline, Ruby DD trying to finish off Flapteezy here. So close. Electo, final blow, makes it out. And this is going to be a free kill for Kalteezy as he takes out Ruby DD, and the rest of the team is able to kind of peel them back 2-0 in favor of Bren.
Lusty, just the ever reliable Lusty, just getting the right moment to go for this. He got the Winter Truncheon, but will it matter? Will it even matter?
No, it does not. Oki, shadow kill. Go away, Kid! He calls it to the back line. He's trying to take out Field. Kid is the next to fall. The Brilliance. There it is. Brand bring it to a Game 7.
And we are going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. This fight is not over.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not what we all deserve as die-hard, ever-loving MLBB esports fans? Ladies and gentlemen, Brand Esports able to dig deep, and despite 2 games in a row, surrender and concede the halfway point, they figured out this time. And as Butters so aptly put it, we're going into Game 7.
Yeah, and now the championship point is up for grabs for both of them. Oh, I just wonder, Brand Esports, they must have definitely had some tears of joy just finally breaking that tempo.
Sigh of relief. And now the question remains on my head. Is the Claude... should be the Claude banned out from the hands of Burmese Ghouls?
The draft by Brand, those 3 bans.
Those three bans.
That's the magical 3.
Because when Ace gets his hands on that, or D gets their hands on that Claude, magic happens for the side of Burmese Ghouls.
Guys, we gotta calm down. Remember, they were on the blue side here, which means the Burmese Ghouls will get to decide which side they want to end on for this final game. This is the upper bracket advantage that we've all been waiting to see, and honestly, bringing it all the way to Game 7, they must be really happy about this.
Yeah, and the viewers as well, from both Myanmar and the Philippines. Right now, we're gonna be throwing it over to LaFell and Wolf and try to break down what's been going on so far. 6 games in a row. Tell us.
Thank you very much. And yeah, 6 games and we're going to the 7. We're going all the way, all 7 games, best of 7. My name is LaFell. This is Wolf. We have a lot to talk about, especially Carl Teasy. We have to look at his items a little bit later. But that is enough for me. Wolf, tell me what happened in that game.
The entirety of the playoff, I would say the Brody was banned.
Yes.
Automatically.
Yes.
And Carl TC just showed us why it was banned out. Now, in this particular case, Burmese Ghouls, they let it out, and then they kind of thought, oh, maybe we can run away with this Natalia. And in the vacuum, it kind of makes sense because the most OP heroes out there, your Yuzong, as well as the Brody, they do have counters. And at a certain point in time, Natalia used to be the answer to the Brody. But then again, Carl TC played it so well. Alright, so there were many times in this particular game where we can't even see him because somebody else is doing the clashes. There was a time where Carl TC was just farming and he went in for defensive items and he was not even fished out by Burmese Ghouls.
Yeah, I could not see Natalia at all. Get it? Anyways, we will look at itemization soon because that is where I really want to talk about a few things, especially Carl DZ's items. But again, this is a best of 7. We're going all 7 games. And right now, we have seen a lot of things, especially in the draft, where we can see that the Claude has been banned, and that might be the key. It's not just the Diggy, but the Claude is as important as well. Right now, let's look at the itemization of the team and look at Brody. Look at Carl TZ. Itemization, Immortality, Athena Shield, as well as Anti-Cuirass. At the end of the game, only did he get his Malefic Roar to do a little bit more damage. But the thing is, the entire game, he focused mostly on the defense. Because again, let's look at Burmese Ghouls. They have the Farsa, they have the Natalia, Yuzong, as well as the Hayabusa. All of them will go on to him. Now, Brody, he is a very special hero. His damage, his base kit does a lot of damage. He doesn't need, well, you know, of course, more damage is always good. But the thing is, as long as he can sustain in the team fight, as long as he doesn't get shut down by the Natalia, the Farsa, or the Yuzong, he will be able to help his team out. Now, let's look at Alice. Itemization, basically full on magic damage, as well as the Benedetta. Mostly defense, but he does have the Bloodless Axe. So in this kind of composition, Brand Esports, they just out-sustain everything. from Burmese Ghouls.
And apart from the items that you just talked about, Burmese Ghouls also kind of hit a brick wall when they tried to go for this Natalia pick. In the grand scheme of things, I really favor teams that play the Natalia well, and I would say Burmese Ghouls played this well. In fact, they were leading when it comes to the kills in a way in the early stages, as well as some of the farm. But Bren Sports recuperated after Burmese Ghouls kept on making a lot of mistakes. But this is not something that you have to really fault Burmese Ghouls for, because Bren Sports, they are actually inviting Burmese Ghouls in many of those clashes so that they get baited in a position where they can punish. So many good performances from the members of Burmese Ghouls. Unfortunately, when they went in one after the other, the one-by-one audition that we have been talking about, that was when Bren Esports was able to capitalize. Carl TZ, when he showed up, he was already massive.
Yeah, and right now we can look at the MVP with a 9-1-1-1. It is Brody with this tank Brody itemization again. Just to remind you guys, with the Beast Killer, Athena Shield, Immortality, and the Anti-Cuirass, and the final item, Malefic Roar, to make sure that he can get the kills on those tanky heroes as well as kill the turrets faster.
Okay, I want to tell the people a little bit of a story. When we were watching this match, I saw that Carl TZ had like Immortality as his third item after the axe and the Athena Shield and the boots. And a clash happened, and I said, okay, he has Immortality. Where's the damage coming out from? And then he dealt the damage, which is so OP for Brody.
I mean,
and then he died. He was taken out, and then I thought, okay, this might be finally the stopper for Burmese Ghouls. But then again, he had Immortality, so it made a lot of sense in the end.
So here's the thing. I don't even think that, okay, Tank Brody is amazingly broken. I just feel like this is the situation when you are on the world stage.
Yeah,
you cannot,
that's right.
You cannot play
That's
standard.
absolutely right.
You cannot play standard. You have to surprise your enemy. Who would have thought, like, wait, Brody, where's your blade of... Actually, where's any damage items? And that had probably caught him off guard. They were like, Brody. And then when they deal every single thing, it's like, wait, this Brody is not dying.
That's right. And so many control coming out from the side of Bren Esports came from the other members, and then they just stack it up all together. Again, take the fights that are advantageous to you. And I think that's what Bren Esports did. Every single fight in the mid to late game stages, they have won because they have peeled through the lineup of Burmese Ghouls. And unfortunately for Burmese Ghouls, their lineup is a little bit head on. It's a football lineup, as they always say. They want to run at the members of Bren Esports, and unfortunately they were punished for it.
Yep, thank you very much. And right now we will be going to a short break because we'll be going back to the final game.
Let's
My
go!
name is Lafel. This is Wolf. We're going to a break. See you guys in a bit.
Chivalry is dead. I will revive it. I've got a bullet with your name on it.
Download for free. Mobile Legends BangBang.
I was gonna say, what a fight, what a night. We are down to Game 7 for your M2 World Championship 2020 between Brand Esports and Burmese Ghouls. If you just joined us after your short break as well, thank you so much for coming back. I believe our friends over in the Philippines and Myanmar, they're on the edge of their seats. They are cheering. If you're neutral, if you're watching to learn for skills, you could suddenly find yourself so invested in this grand final. Before we have one final Discord session, we do want to say a big thank you to all our sponsors, partners, and supporters. Firstly, M2, proudly powered by Moonton, supported by the Singapore Tourism Board, hashtag Passion Made Possible. Our friends over at Skolga for supporting esports talents and careers here in Singapore since 2008, IMDA, and our partner brands Secret Lab, SUTL, Tumi, Singtel, Cathay Cinema, MediaCorp, and official gaming gear Razer. I wonder if the Razer Black Shark V2 is still up for grabs. If it is, if you're on our Facebook page right now, leave a comment and tell us why you should be the one winning it. Without further ado, my co-host Lysander, and on the panel, a really excited Lafell, a really excited Ghost. What I
Ghost.
I want to say
Oh
Wolf.
my
Yes.
God.
We're in
Oh my
sudden death right now,
Yeah.
so that's why we have a ghost. It's sudden death. We're all basically at the maximum blood pressure possible.
I mean-
and yes, Lafell, what's up?
I mean, if he's a ghost, then we're maintaining maximum social distancing right now.
True.
I know.
Nothing further distance than the afterlife. But that game, all right, it's Game 7. Okay, first of all, big props to Moonton. You have made a game, an esport that had a best of 7 grand final, go to Game 7 2 years in a row. That is incredible. I gotta say props to the Moonton team.
Now,
Props.
not to sound cliche, but panelists, would you say it's anyone's game now?
Definitely. because I only say that because I think that we have to throw momentum off the roof, because I think Burmese Girls showed so many strategies, and then Brenny Sports kind of adjusted. They were trailing in game number 6, and then they won it after such a massive series of unfortunate events for Burmese Girls, right? So it is anybody's game, and I think that it's not the momentum that will decide it.
And the way that I'm going to answer this question is just by revealing what my name is right now. And my name right now is Lafel TZDD.
Lafel TZDD. All right.
That is fair. I think
fair.
I think all of us had different votes at the start, you know. But right now I've shifted the flags in the middle. The two teams competing, Philippines as well as Myanmar, one on each side.
There we go.
It is
there we go.
Basically down to this final game, and I think because it's gone to game 7, I think we put all the allegiances aside. I'm sure the casters can agree as well.
Yeah.
Whoever takes this deserves this wholeheartedly. You know, it is champion material to make your way up to 7 games, have that stamina to stay intact and play on.
Yeah, and if I could quote Gideon, you know, I'm paraphrasing, of course. But basically, he says, whoever wins this one, basically, undisputedly, at least for this entire year, say, I won it. You have to respect me. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah. You know what? I think that's something Gideon would have said.
That looks like something that Gideon would have said.
It's something that Gideon would totally say.
I was just going to say, this is the power of esports. This is the power of Mobile Legends BangBang. This is the grand final of your M2 World Championship 2020. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it rare for games to go the full way, the full length?
I mean, it happened last year.
It happened last year, yes. We remember that one. What about you guys?
I want to say, in other esports titles that I am able to see, it's very rare that we get to Game 7.
Yeah.
Normally, a championship team will just dominate, right?
Yeah.
And then they will get the momentum, they will take it. But this particular series, it's very interesting because it went 2-0, and then 2-2, and then 3-2, and now it's 3-3. So it really is literally anybody's game.
I can't wait to see the memes in the comment section. It's been to and fro. At first, it was very brand-sided because 2-0, and then Burmese Ghouls came in with the bus memes and everything, the train memes, and now I don't know what. I think now they're just gonna do this, lean back and watch.
Now, I'm sure you can't see this, but as the game is going on, Lysander, Lafel, Wolf, as well as myself, we are all invested in this game. I hear we are ready for the final match of your M2 World Championship. Take it away, casters, one final time.
Thank you very much, Joachim, and welcome back. This is the very final game here in the M2 Mobile Legends BangBang World Championship 2020. And I gotta say this before, of course, we spread our thanks as well. It definitely is a tradition to go into Game 7 now, year after year. And it has kept us all at the edge of a seat. And with that being said, special thanks to our sponsor, Secret Lab, the award-winning gaming seats engineered for long hours of comfort and sitting form. Available in the Secret Lab official stores in major e-commerces in Singapore, or visit secretlab.co.
Let's not forget to thank PvP Esports, our partner in esports, to turn your competitive gaming dreams into a reality where gaming lives. PvP Esports is Southeast Asia's one-stop platform for amateur and professional gamers alike.
That's right. And did you guys know that there's an official live screening event for the M2 in Singapore at Cathay Cineleisure Orchard? I wonder how those guys are doing, because this is the MVP, and you'll be able to catch all the M2 actions on the big cinema screens. What's more, you can also win attractive prizes and when you take part in the activities, as well as the lucky draw. And the MVP will be running the entire week, or has run for the entire week. Today is the final day, and you could have got your tickets earlier, and you can still get it right now at the Cathay Cineplex's website. You can also check out www.rsg.gg/MVP for more info. Shout out to all our MLBB committee everywhere in the world watching right now, and especially shout out to the communities here at Cathay Cinema and US Sports Hub and Bukit Merah Swimming Complex. You guys are absolutely great. And now, final showdown. It's the curtain call for either side of the teams here to lift that trophy.
We're not even minutes from the draft. Literally seconds. Literally seconds. Butters, what's going on in your head right now? You seem to be just so deep in thought. I hope you're still with us, because there's still one more game, man.
Yeah, there's still one more game now. I'm thinking about the drafting that's gonna go on for game number 7. Brenny Sports is just gonna ban up the Claude depending on their side. The Diggy is there as well. Will the Burmese Ghouls still steal that backshot? Because the thing is, it didn't really work for them.
Honestly, at this point, it comes down to which side the Burmese Ghoul deem worthy of this last game that could give them the edge in the draft over Brand Esports. If it's blue side or red side, it really has been changing up within this best of 7 alone.
Now, 40 more seconds, and honestly, my brain just couldn't even get to the draft right now. I'm just looking at two sides, and they have definitely garnered more than just respect. A whole lot of love from all over the world that this too is definitely the best current teams at their peak, and only one could take that trophy home, unfortunately. So 10 more seconds from now, we will start to break down what champions are made of.
No doubt, no doubt. And here's the thing, man. We are broadcasters. We've been watching and covering these games, and if already we feel some fatigue, what more these players?
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
especially for the side of Bren.
Yeah.
Bren has been playing ever since 11 a.m.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
An absolute
It's
marathon.
been 12 hours already since they woke up, you know, like now, of course, this is the final match of the evening, wherever you guys are currently tuning in from. The M2 World Championship will draw to a close after this survey takes. Of course, we've already seen a few things here. Esmeralda, ban. Matilda, ban. No Diggy, no Yishinshin. Boys, what are they going for in this match?
At this point in time, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is it
Brothers.
still going to be the Claude? Because that is it still going to be a Claude ban? Because the truth is, if you let it slide, Burmese Ghouls, that is an auto pick for the first phase of pickings. But if you think about it, if you give the Claude to this to Burmese Ghouls, then probably you can just get 2 power picks on your side and just try to adjust from there.
Well, let's see what it's going to be, because the Burmese Ghouls are going to be opted. Hey, guess what? Brody and Claude on the table, up for grabs for either side. So no matter what, the Burmese Ghouls have to choose one, and I'm feeling like they're going to lean more towards that Brody after that, after their previous game in Game 6, getting absolutely destroyed by the amount of scaling this particular hero has. And there we go. It's going to be the Boxia as well as the Claude.
At least they're getting the Claude coming in, so it's kind of like a trade-off in this sort of sense. But, you know, I'm pretty sure that Leo has to say about scalings coming in.
Yeah, no, Burmese Ghouls, they're getting it in spades. After the Brody, they get the Lunox. They're in for one more lock-in. And if I were to read Brand Esports' draft right, they have to focus on Lusty next before banning comes in. And right now, Burmese Ghouls, they field Lapu Lapu. It's been a while since we've seen Lapu Lapu.
I think they really are going to try and help this Lapu Lapu as much as they can if it does go in towards that Boxia lane. And I mean, it's only natural for Brent to say, hey, Lusty, you've been doing such a good job on this show. Take it again. As we move into the second part of the pick ban phase here, this is going to be pretty difficult because both sides are lacking in certain areas. Another offlaner is missing. Their junglers have been pretty much decided. The support's kind of still up in the air.
Yuzhong could be a ban here for the side of Burmese Ghouls. Like, you pick a Lapu Lapu. Yes, you would want to head up against a Yuzhong Lapu Lapu setup that's going to be 50-50. But if he does have the backshot on his side, that makes all the difference.
That's definitely something to ponder about. And, you know, there's still a few more bands to also consider about. Sylvana, past few games haven't been prioritized at all. So, do you think there's a possibility for that as well?
Yeah, Burmese Ghouls might, just because Lusty is on his choke.
Yeah, I would think that they could go just for like a full-on pick composition for the side of Bren, but I feel like it's more likely that Bren is going to ban. They banned out the Jawhead, so obviously the Sylvana is going to become close second here, because again, that's how the tier list goes when it comes to these supports, especially on tournament meta. Both ultimates super, super effective.
So now maybe is left hanging. Maybe is wondering, what am I going to play next? What other tanks or similar heroes can he play And so far, Burmese Ghouls have seen success when they are put up against the wall like this. Last ban from the Ghouls is going to be Farsa. And Brenny Sports have one more. Ooh, looking like a great side lane Aerith. It's Few who still does not have a hero here.
Yeah, and I think Few is kind of okay with this. He's got a plethora of options overall. I mean, they're not exactly the best, may not necessarily be the most meta, but the Burmese Ghouls here, if they could limit him even more, because they've been trying to match him pretty much the entirety of the game. They've been matching Brent Esports in their draft. So if they can narrow down on what exactly Few wants to take and put him in an uncomfortable spot, they might be able to abuse.
Burmese Ghouls, they need a tank and a gold lane. Will they go for a double marksman? Double marksman is risky, but could be.
Oh boy.
The hard counter for the
Oh
Harry.
boy.
What?
Wow.
At the last possible moment, Burmese Ghouls, they still have something up their sleeves to surprise us.
Hey, if you're going to win a championship,
You need to be unpredictable.
you got
You need to bring a king in.
And you got to be styling.
I mean, this is pretty interesting because it's working similarly to Diggy, where it's just going to shut down the mobility coming in from Brent Esports. They have a very clear escape mechanic with this, and Brent Esports, they have no way to really get in onto the fight except for Baxia, and he won't be able to get out. So tight corners, what used to be Brent Esports' favorite place in the world, now Burmese Ghouls will start to dominate here.
They do have an in. If they get it right, the diversion from the Luoyi, but it's so high risk, it's so high concept at this point.
Exactly. Tight, narrow jungle, nah, don't fight there, Brent.
Burmese Ghouls, if you look at it, if they don't finish the game early, the scaling is going to favor the side of the Philippines, Brent Esports.
Yeah, I honestly really like this Loyi. We haven't seen that Loyi in a while now. Now, paired with this Baxia, you can definitely go even more places that the Baxia could not reach. So with that being said, this is our very final game. It is best of 7 in the AM2 World Championship 2020. Who will be your champions right here? Pop it in the chat. And if you guys are in the cinema, make sure you scream it out loud. Is it Burmese Ghouls? Is it Brent Esports? Back and towards the land of Dawn for our last match here. Casters, it's been a long day, but we need a champion at the end of the day.
We do need a champion. Burmese Ghouls, Brent Esports. One last game.
One last showdown to show who is going to be sitting up here on top. Bren on the red side, Burmese Ghouls on the blue. As they take this nice and slow, they don't go with a buff start and immediately look to clear the mid wave. And, you know, overall, as we were kind of talking about how the matchups are going to go, we can already see how the lane priorities have been given over to either side.
Again, Ruby DD with the rogue off meta pick, Grok. This is the lethal Grok in Game 7.
Ooh, it's risky, but we've seen it work before, and now the question really does come down to whether they get a catch onto Few. For now, it's looking pretty good, but Flap's easy, going in pretty hard, but Kid, nobody having the execute at the end of the day, so they're not going to go for the dive.
Okay, so the Luyi pick on Few will just keep people from Burmese Ghouls, let's say, poked as much as possible. The damage will be consistent. So Burmese Ghouls, there might be times here when they are going to take objectives that they would just opt to go for that just because they don't have full HPs.
It's not even just about the full HP.
Yeah.
It really does come down to who is going to win this level 4, and it is leaning more towards the Burmese Ghouls, but under specific conditions here. Because Brent Esports, overall, you look at their composition, it's like, yeah, this makes sense. They go in, they take the fight, full team fight, plenty of AOE damage, lots of magic damage, got a pick, got a Lusty with that pick. It's almost perfect. But then you look at Burmese Ghouls, and you see the King's Calling, and you're like, ooh, that's kind of a problem, because if we count the number of mobility skills and spells coming out from Bren, that's at least 4 of them. Actually, that's at least 4 of them, yes.
Yep. So again, great read here by the Burmese Ghouls, playing the reactionary lineup despite being on blue side. The genius mind of Coach Panda here in action now. Turtle started here by Ace, and he's going to put a few beads on it. Again, Brody doing well for Brent Esports in game number 6, here game number 7. How the tables have turned. Now the fight has begun inside the river. Order Brilliance now popped here by Kid. He wants out. That's 1 ult counted down for each side as the Puissance is in. For Flap Easy, they disengage.
Okay.
I mean, Kid can't switch over the Chaos Darkness anyway, so still he is going to be relevant in this turtle fight.
Games take longer, then that means it favors the side of Brent. Now, oh! Look at that magnet, the yin and the yang. Diversion is there.
Hold up, here we come. Bren, fakes it. They're going to continue the fight, though, up north. Phew, first blood.
Oh.
Here comes D. He starts it strong. That's going to be a disengage, and now Bren is disincentivized for going into this first turtle take. Hold up, they still want more. That's going to be Kaltizi blazing duet out of here, and yeah, it's a push and pull.
Yeah, it really is. And Few, unfortunately, making the mistake. He tried to fake it out with the rest of his team, especially with that fast rotation coming in from Brent Esports. And the rest of the team wants to get in. Now, Flaptizi, he jumps right on top of the Kid. He drops out the Twice Poissons as well as the Rejuvenate in hopes that Lusty gets in time. He flickers on backwards, kicks back, ace into the fight. The King's calling this up, but the damage has been done. Loyi getting a double kill so early into this game. Oh, Few! He's so close to dying. Doesn't get hit by the Nature's Bear, but he gets hit by the Wild Charge at the end of the day. RubyDD, the next to fall. Huge win for Bren.
And Bren Esports, they are finding the trades. Burmese Ghouls not backing down. And you could see a lot of things working to the side of Bren Esports there. The kick on Ace was perfect. That's just what they needed at that certain point in time.
The exact target. Now, quick item check before the 5-minute mark. That's already tough boots onto Lusty. Kaltizi picks up the Raptor Machete. D uses the ult to disengage. That's 2 chasing down onto him. And look down bottom. This is actually some pressure onto RubyDD. I think Bren Esports have had it with this surprisingly lethal Grok.
Yeah.
This is the first time that we see him hugging the turret.
I mean, they have to make sure that he doesn't get too far away here. Because, again, Grok with the power of nature, very annoying. Oh, he gets hit by a lot of bullies here as well as the Chrono Finisher as well. But now they're trying to jump on top of Rebo. Oh, they almost catch him as well, forcing him to use the Purify. And the rest of Burmese Ghouls, they pull back. Big plays. Ooh, Fatizi, what happened? 1 HP?
I guess he was dueling with the 2 up top.
Lapu Lunox.
He calls it quits, yeah.
Lapu Lunox is just way too good.
Blazing duet by Kaltizi. Yeah, down goes maybe. Kid can't answer back. Interesting entrance by Bren Esports, and right now they're trying to go for this push, looking for a conversion. Ace puts a few beads, gonna be popping the torn apart memory from here on very soon now. Oh, nice wild charge here by RubyDD, and they decimate Bren Esports from underneath the tower. 3 for none. The Ghouls are feeling it.
They are pouncing back. They're looking to really turn this into the brawl. And D, he knows that he has to throw himself under the fire. And Flaptizi, he's going to be dropping. Oh, he gets peeled back.
Move.
It's a great pull, but he does force out the Rejuvenate. And nobody can really deal with him thus far. Not enough damage. Can he get the Cyclone's Eye in time? He gets hit by the stun. Maybe steals the Cyclone's Eye, but Flaptizi, he's like, nah, Shield Unity, and I'm rolling out.
Okay, this is one of the things that Burmese Ghouls is really good at. And RubyDD, they've been going for a lot of these, what's the name of the ultimate of the Grok?
Wild Charge.
Wild Charge. This is for the longest time we haven't used Grok in the meta, and this is the first time that he was used. Wild Charge with the flicker. They've been using that time and again, and it's almost always certain that he's gonna be very near onto those rocks and just knock up the enemy.
Yeah, and that's what's so nice about RubyDD's build here. Nice knock up here. Oh! Summon Force from underneath. In comes maybe, though. King's calling, keeping people down.
No way.
That's going to be Lusty. Oh my god, the tag team is in effect. Now, that's going to be Few from the backline losing the Kid. It's a duel. Mage on Mage action. And that's going to be the wipeout on 2 Few. That's going to be the Order Brilliance away for Kid. D take down here by Flaptizi. That's a small consolation prize. 1 for 3.
Big wins all across the board for the Burmese Ghouls. They're very happy with this trade at the end of the day.
They should be holding on for Bren Esports. Burmese Ghouls. This is going as the way they planned it. They get pickups, they get kills, they control the mid-game, they make the most out of Ace, mid-game spike. That's it.
Oh no! Kid gets caught in by Flaptizi, and here comes RubyDD looking for a target. That's going to be a miss. A rotation in by Few, and this is Bren Esports pressuring the lane. So far, so good for the Burmese Ghouls. They're winning these fights, but just the same, Bren Esports are finding pickoffs where they can and pressuring the map. Look at this, a push by Rebo.
Yeah, they're both sides are literally looking for those flanks, getting behind the tier 1 turrets and going for these heavy dives. But maybe that King's Calling is super effective against Rebo. Rebo. Rebo has to be extra careful in that King's Calling. Purify ain't gonna save him.
Look at the Enchanted Talisman even being used here for Rebo, and that is quite unusual because a lot of the Harriet side laners are going for the Calamity Reaper and the Feather of Heaven.
Yeah, Flapteasy here senses something. Oh, nice pull by Maybe. That's going to be the Tortoise Poisons. And as well, I believe the Revitalize dropping here. But already 2 big ticket resources gone for Bren Esports. Well timed for the 30-second turtle coming up for Burmese Ghouls, the very last one.
They'll have their ultimates at the end of the day. And I think I did see Rebo actually purchasing the Calamity Reaper first. So don't worry about that. The Talisman, Enchanted Talisman came in a little bit later. Lusty, he's going to be looking for an opportunity to kind of, secure their position around the turtle. So they have first dibs for now. But Rubini D says hello to Few. And Few now under a lot of scrutiny here. The King's calling down right in the middle of the lane here. Nobody from the side of Brent Esports wants to walk forward. So it's going to be a free pick with no returns.
Maximum efficiency. That is the best use of King's Calling. You see how it fits the circle down the middle right so perfectly? And that's exactly what Maybe is doing here. But hold up. What's this? A nice trade for the turtle. Brent Esports lets it go. It's not coming in time.
But then again, you have to think about what they did there.
Here we go. Wild charge by Ruby DD. What a bait. That's got DD taking him down. And the life bars are dropping. Flapteasy shut down by Ace. And the fight continues. Where do they go? Salmon Force already expended here by Rebo. And that's both teams backing off. Lusty looking for more. And hold up. 10-7. 24K to 24K. This game is darn close, but the Burmese Ghouls are up by 1 turret.
Golden Staff is now up for Carl TZ, and you can see the trades. Ruby DD maybe is just playing the keep away game. He knows that if he stays alive, he can just keep on going for those pokes. Now, if you would look at the items, Lusty here with the Athena Shield. Rebo does have the Calamity Reaper with Enchanted Talisman. Enchanted Talisman on Few as well. He's probably gonna go for something of a Ice Queen wand or a Lightning Truncheon, or probably a Glowing Wand as well.
Yeah, those are some pretty good shoutouts there, especially... D, he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to die here. There's nothing much he can do. He's going to get run down, especially with the amount of movement speed that he has in Flapteasy just to secure the kill with the Shield Unity. But now, rotation is going to be placed in the middle just so they can steal away the orange buff again. And then, unfortunately, Flapteasy is going to be, hey, I'm the carry now.
Oh, actually, that is the case. And now Kid gets caught in here. That's going to be quite a hit from the back line as Ruby DD goes in with a wild charge. Maybe here, caught out Flapteasy inside the turtle, the purple pit, and that's going to be the back out. Oh! Nice knock up. Nice Way of the Dragon, but they take out Flapteasy first. Lusty still in here. Flapteasy, Blazing Duet. He's trying to get one. That's going to be Kid, and they back out. Oh! Nice power! Nice swing by Ruby DD, but it's not enough. Double kill here for Carl TZ. 2 for 1.
And while that's happening, we have Rebo and Few going to the bottom lane.
Lord's up. It's free.
Lord's up, and they gatekeep the Burmese Ghouls from walking up forward. They made sure they teleported right in front of the base, making sure that they're standing on towards the top right side, just in case if D wanted to get a little bit more physical with them. But now they have the River Crab under their side. Cartesi is kind of huge in these situations, and as of right now, Ace, he's got the burst damage, but Cartesi, he's got some strong AoE.
Remember, the last time that they picked the Claude, it was relying on Claude alone. The damage output came from him alone. Right now for Bren Esports, they have this insurance policy. They have Rebo and the Harith, and both of them will have to carry the damage of this team.
Not to mention, Few just purchased the Necklace of Durance, and that's going to be very, very helpful, especially against Rubidi D as well as D. And let's see how this fight is. It's about to occur. They want to look for that big engagement.
Here we go, Lord at about a sixth of his health. That's going to be a reset. Flapteasy already pops here. The Poissons rolling out. And it seems like Ruby DD is going to be the first target. Oh, he goes for the swing, goes for the wild charge, and misses. That's a nice free pickoff for Bren Esports. Nothing for Burmese Ghouls to take here. Hold up. They jump in. Nice pull out the Lusty. He goes down. Kid gets the kill, and they are going to be backing off 1 for 1. Blazing Duet by Carl Easy alongside his Salmon Force to keep them pinned down. That's going to be a double. Down goes Ace. Down goes Maybe. D as well. Kid is the only survivor in this onslaught. Ladies and gentlemen, Brand Esports have gone 4 for 1.
Let's go! Brand Esports, they see the King's calling, it's gone. They run straight down and force the engagement onto the Burmese Goals, and now will profit the Lord as well as a mid-tier. Oh my goodness, they should be able to get this. No, can they get this? Yes!
The King's calling really worked their way, but look at Carl DC trying to go for Kid! He takes down Kid!
Kid just falls right in front of his base, and so far Brand Esports are not acknowledging any of Burmese Ghouls' efforts to protect themselves. So far, I think the Burmese Ghouls, they are trying here to just bait Brand Esports. Again, nice pulls by Maybe so far, but I think Brand Esports knows that as soon as the pull happens, they leave who's gonna die and then just disengage and then come back around. This is the whole rope-a-dope Burmese Ghouls have been using all series long.
And not to mention that this is the first time we're actually seeing the Burmese Ghouls starting to really sweat against Brand. They're making some really unnatural mistakes, like similar to Game 1, but with Lord marching on through, they can't afford to lose their members. They have to break this Lord, and they have to be able to protect themselves, but Brand, they want to force the situation. They're going to be starting with the inhibitor down on bot side. Few taking a little bit of damage, but D wants to go even a little bit further. He's trying to get on Few. He's trying to execute Few, but instead he gets kicked on backwards. Baptiste now trapped all by himself in the King's calling. Rebo gets pulled on in. He's trying to get on out of there. Maybe flickers forward, but now this is where they turn the tide here. Brand Esports, the
my goodness!
This is it! Kid is the only one left. Can he defend? Ladies and gentlemen, Brand Esports are your M2 champions!
From the lower bracket, they crawled out. Brand Esports are your M2 World Champions!
With one perfect team fight, this is it. We're going to pass it to our host to celebrate our winners itself. And, well, this will be the end of our match, but now it's time for Brand Esports to go and claim what is rightfully theirs. The pro itself, thank you so much from the caster's desk. This is us signing off.
Thank you very much, Butters, Gideon Q, Leo, as well as Contra Lysander. Can you hear them screaming?
What an incredible series, an incredible M2. They are going to be looking back in the history books, and M2, the closest best of 7 you have ever seen in Mobile Legends history.
Now, I'm pretty sure all over in the Philippines, they are screaming, LANG Malakas! Congratulations, people! Congratulations,
Philippines!
Wow! All right. Let us catch our breaths for a while now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still watching us, this is not